Did you know that you can make this light, airy, fluffy, delicious brioche bread only with sourdough? No yeast, no baking powder, nothing else, just some regular pantry ingredients and an active sourdough starter. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make it, and it just absolutely smells amazing. The night before, I prepared my sourdough starter by just simply adding some flour and water, and you can be super exact by adding 50 grams of water and 50 grams of flour, or you can just wing it like I do it and then let it sit overnight. And in the morning, I had a super active sourdough starter, to which I simply added some milk. It doesn't really have to be warm. You can warm it up to speed up the process if you're pressed for time. Otherwise, refrigerator temperature is fine, and then add some flour, mix it all up, and then set it in a warm place. I always love my Sour House dough bed because it warms my dough just perfectly, but you can find another warm spot. You don't have to use something like that. So it has been sitting over here on my dough bed, and let's see what it looks like, because now we're going to make the real dough, the brioche dough. And it is super fluffy and airy and bubbly, and this is sort of like my pre-ferment. I hope you can see it in the camera. Now we'll just add all the other ingredients, and it couldn't be, this is just a recipe to my liking, because it's basically like throw together and then we'll add a little bit of mixing, but then you have a really beautiful result. So here we have some sugar. It is not overly sweet. If you make it and you find that it's not sweet enough or too sweet for you, just take a note, and next time add a little bit less or more depending on what you like. A little salt. I always recommend salt because it brings out the sweetness of the sugar and it just rounds out. It would taste really flat if you didn't add that. Now we have flour. So just a quick note on this recipe. This recipe is a Anya adaptation of my super good friend Cheryl's baking blog, Bakes by Brown Sugar, and she has an absolutely stunning yeast-based brioche bread. I took that as an inspiration. I adapted a little bit. I tried to streamline it a little bit and make it just a little bit easier so that I like it, and this is the result, and I couldn't be happier. Now we have the butter. The butter really, that helps if you have that room temperature, so just make sure to take it out. You can take the butter out maybe even the night when you make the sourdough starter, or whenever you prepare your sourdough starter. Or you can even let the butter sit out overnight. That's not a problem. It's not going to go rancid or anything. Or you just, when in the morning when you mix your pre-ferment, you can also take the butter out. That should be enough time for the butter to come to room temperature. And we're not using quite 2 sticks, we're using 200 grams. And even though this recipe is a very simplified recipe, I still recommend using weight measurements over volume measurements, because it's just a lot more exact and more consistent. And now we'll add the eggs one at a time. I'm such a neat cook or baker. I know that about myself, but I kind of like it. It makes me nervous when I watch other people cook and there's stuff all over the place and dishes all over the place. I don't know, which camp are you in? You can let me know in the comments. And I just basically threw all the ingredients in here, and the only other thing we're going to do is put that in the KitchenAid for at least 5 minutes and mix it with the dough hook. You want to really get the gluten going. You want to mix all the ingredients. You want to activate the sourdough starter. And so I like mixing it for at least 5 minutes. If you can stand it to 10 minutes, you can do it for that long. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a hand mixer with either you have your dough hook attachments or just use the regular wire whisks. If you don't have that, then you can always knead it by hand and just give it a really good kneading. Just remember, it will be a very sticky, wet dough. It's not going to come together and it's going to stick to your hands. So I recommend using a spoon or something. So you might have to use some elbow grease. I have probably had this go for 7 minutes in the stand mixer, and as you can see, it is a very wet but very smooth, consistent, nice, rich dough. And some of the color probably comes from the butter. And on the note of the butter, I want to make a recommendation. Use the highest quality butter that you can fit into your budget, because I find it pretty scary when you buy really affordable butter at the store and you look at the ingredients, you'll find that they add natural flavors. Now, I know that the Kerrygold butter, which is always my recommendation, I know it's a little bit pricey, but you actually get a lot of a higher fat content versus a higher moisture content. And so you're actually getting more butter and less water, and it gives it a richer flavor. Now, the Kerrygold doesn't need any flavorings because it is such a rich butter flavor that you don't need to add any artificial flavors, but that's just my little thing. The other thing, if you're wondering what's up with this kitchen, I did a video last week that I will be linking in the description box below, why I'm in a different kitchen and the whole backstory to that. And we're all getting used to this new kitchen. Everything is in a different place, and everything, every move, every gesture feels unfamiliar. So for me, this is still a little bit getting used to, but I'm liking my setup so far, and I can still optimize it a little bit once I'm a little bit more in the flow. Okay, so what are we going to do with this dough now? I want to show you something. And you remember me saying this earlier, this is something I really recommend. I don't like my house super warm. Now, if you're doing this in the summer, you're not worried about a warm spot, but in the winter, I really, really like the Sour House dough bed. It comes when you buy it, and I'm on the original Kickstarter actually, because I bought into this campaign and I was hoping that they would make this product. And again, I'm not peddling any products that I don't personally use or recommend. Now, I recommend this and I use it all the time. I use this and I just put my whatever bowls I'm using on it, and it creates a really nice warm temperature. Now, you can find any other warm spot in your house if you have a warm oven or a sunny place outside somewhere. But basically, this goes into a USB adapter or USB port, and then I'm going to put this over there where I have that and cover it with a kitchen towel and let it sit for, I want to say, at least 3 hours. You kind of want to see that the dough has visibly risen and become a little fluffier and maybe bubbly. Maybe not so much because it's pretty evenly mixed, but you want to see some action. You want to see some rise. So we're going to put this back there, and then I'll meet you back here. Before I continue with the dough, I want to grease my loaf pan. And in the past, depending on how my dough is doing, I found that one 9x5 is maybe not quite big enough for all the dough. I'm gonna try to fit them all in here, because what looks really nice is when your brioche bread goes really high instead of just being a very shallow, sort of like a focaccia, but I know I'm exaggerating. So plus plenty of oil here to grease your loaf pan, and I'm gonna keep this close by because who knows, maybe I'll need it for another small one that I have, and then I'll make just little brioche buns. We'll put this over here and that there, and then I have a bunch of flour here. I know there are people who can just go in one swift move and flour the work surface. I don't know how to do that. I would have to watch a tutorial on how to do it right. So I'm just doing it very old school, just like this. It's kind of how I mix cards when I play card game. And I hope this microphone is not falling over when I'm doing this, but my refrigerator is really noisy, and if I use another microphone, it picks up everything, and then I have a really hard time editing out the noise from the refrigerator, so this is why I have those little wireless mics. Let's see what our dough is doing. Ooh, nice. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see that it's gotten really puffed up and round and very light and airy. So now, oh yeah, you can see how this has got a little like almost like a honeycomb structure, which means that the sourdough cultures are at work. And as I said, this is a very sticky dough, so don't be alarmed and don't try to add more flour to make it less sticky, because then your brioche bed won't be as light and airy, just the way we want it. How long did I let it rise? Well, here's the thing. It always depends on how active your sourdough starter is, how mature or not your sourdough starter is, and how warm your room is. So I like to say, read your dough more than your recipe, because the recipe may give you one time, but if the dough hasn't risen nicely enough, then that's not going to help you so much. And now I just want to create a little bit of something I can manage. It's very soft, it's very delicate, and I have a cat up there on that piece of furniture. I hope my microphone doesn't pick up those noises. It's always something going on when you have pets and animals. Okay, so let's try to get a little bit more underneath, because we don't want this to stick to my work surface. So ideally we want to get 8 equal dough balls out of this. Let's start with cutting this in half. And if you are very exact, you might want to weigh each dough ball, but I'm not going to be that. I like that kind of homemade look. You might want to dip it in some more flour and then just form little dough balls, just like so. And if they get too sticky, you can add a little bit more flour, because then they're gonna create that really neat shape. So we'll put that in here. And now I'm gonna continue with the rest of them. Again, forming little balls and pinching the bottom together. Once I'm done with that, I will put the loaf pan with those dough balls back in a nice warm spot. So I can only really get 6 in there. This is why I kept the extra one here, the little one. Just greasing that really quick. There's enough grease on my brush here that I can finish that. So with these, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually try to create a little bit of surface tension. Now this is an enriched dough with a lot of milk and fat, the butter, so it may not quite behave like this, but nevertheless, I'm going to try to create some surface tension so I can actually see if they will retain their shape when they go in there. Want to bake them at 425 for... There was something that just broke. As I said, it's always interesting when you have pets. Okay, I will finish this and then I will see what was going on over there. But again, we'll put a towel over those and let them sit in a warm spot until they have risen a little bit more, and then we'll bake them. They have actually nicely risen. I have a little bubble right here that is super cute. And in the meantime, I have mixed up a little egg wash to brush the top of the brioche bread to give it its distinct look. And if you like, you can add some pearl sugar, or some people like cinnamon seeds, whatever have you. And I'm not adding any because I don't have any pearl sugar, and I don't want to get some just for the few times that I make this brioche bread. But you know what I mean. You can always get it if you make this more often, if you find that you really enjoy this and you like that look of the little white specks on top, then it might be worth it. So we'll give this a nice brushing here. And as I said, I am going to put this in the oven at 425 for about 25 minutes, and then I'm going to lower the heat to 350 and bake it for another 35 minutes or until it's done. It's about 190, 200 on the inside. If you're not quite sure, you can always put a thermometer and put it all the way to the middle of the loaf and make sure that it's actually done. And if you're new to sourdough, I'm going to leave a playlist for you in the description box and right here where you can learn about my super easy sourdough method. And if you haven't gotten started because you're thinking sourdough is way too complicated or way too overwhelming or too much of a commitment because then you'll have another pet sitting on your kitchen counter, then especially you need to check out my playlist because I have a method with no babysitting, no discarding, and no feedings, and no measurements, no lengthy instructions. It's really, it couldn't be more ridiculously easy than that. How do you eat your brioche bread? Well, it is actually really good on its own, especially when you pull it warm out of the oven and cut yourself a slice, just let it cool down a little bit. But it's equally good spread with some butter and some jam or dipped into your favorite beverage. However you enjoy it, I'm sure you'll love it as much as I do. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And also let me know how you like my new setup, how you like this style of video, me teaching directly into the camera versus me cooking and you watching over my shoulder and me doing a voiceover. So I can do either one. I enjoy both of them. I'm having fun with either one, but I'd like to know what you prefer. Thank you so much for watching me here and joining me in my kitchen, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.